Hello, let's look at how we can use a crate from GitHub. So if we want to write our own library, for instance, we could write it, commit it to GitHub, and then we can import it. We need to add it to our Cargo.toml file. So I've already tested this, and as you can see, I've basically just got a function inside a library, which is creating a tic-tac-toe noughts and crosses board. So let's go from the start and I'll explain what's going on here. So I've got a project called ldem. Don't ask me why it's called ldem, can't remember. So inside that, I've got mkgrid, which is make grid. Now, what I did overall to start this project was I did cargo. I would have done cargo new. Let's make this a bit bigger. What I would have done at the start is I would have done cargo new ldem, and that would basically have made me a main.rs, which is kind of the normal format. Once I'd done that, I came into my ldem directory, which had been created for me, and then I did cargo new mkgrid dash lib.rs. Sorry, lib.rs. So that's actually made me a, if we look at the tree structure, you can see I've got the source and the main, which you get from just doing cargo new and then the name of your project. But by doing cargo new mkgrid dash lib.rs, it created these for me. Now, the lib is a function which I'll show you. So if we go to mkgrid, let me get source and let's look at lib. So within lib, what I did was I created the tic-tac-toe board, but then I also put a line on here to print local. But so typically that would then print. But what I've done, I'll run this so I can show you again. I need to go up a couple of levels. But it's not printing the local. So why is that? And I'll just demonstrate why. Because if we look at the Cargo.toml, you'll see what I've done is I've referenced Git. So Git, rather than path would look locally within your project. By using Git, it's obviously going to go off and look on the URL. So I'm guessing it would also check GitLab or any other form of Git repo. But here we're looking at github.com and I've got a repo called rustyt. If I open that link, sorry, just go there. And I'll just show you the difference. So what I basically did was I just committed the same project really, but just modified. I modified the lib.rs. So the GitHub version doesn't have local. So let's move that over there. Let me just demonstrate the two. So just go back to mkgrid, see. You see the difference. So line 4 is different. The one on GitHub just prints the grid. The local obviously prints local. So how can we actually switch between them? Or I'll demonstrate each one. So I've just shown you I'll just do it one more time. You have to remember to actually come up a directory as well. You can't do cargo run from that load down. So that's using that there is using that. The hello world actually comes from main. So let's go back into Cargo.toml. Oh, it's saying I've already got it open. Yeah. If you're new to a Bash or Linux, you can do Control Z to exit out, and then you just do FG to go back. So at the moment, it's looking appear to have made a bit of a mess of this, to be honest. But there we go. Right. So what we need to do is comment that out, and we'll go back to this. So now when we do cargo run, rather than just having the grid, we should also see local. So now if we do cargo run, you see local. See the difference? So the fact it's got local means it's not getting the library from GitHub. So that's how you can reference GitHub for a library, especially if you want to make your own. And yeah, just a couple of other tips while I'm doing this. I've been reading one of the I forget the name of the publisher, MEAP, if you're familiar with that range of books. I just learned a couple of things. I just wanted to share them while it was fresh in my mind. So um, you may know this already. So apologies if you do. But if I do this, sorry, and then if I just do full stop and P um, and print line, enter. Do you see what happened? It took the basically what's a string literal, and then it moved it to the end. It put parentheses around it, and then it prefixed it to print ln macro. So you would still just have to do that. But so I'll just demo that again. Just type something in quotes. Just do full stop PR, and then you've got print line, println, as some people call it. Yeah, one other tip. If you do, let me try to remember. I think it's mtod. No, Todd M. No, what was it? No, it was a shortcut to put in a test. That's really annoying. I've forgotten it already. Mtest? Nope. TFN? So that's a macro. It does test TM. There we go. TM. So just by typing TM, it actually creates you, because that's a lot to remember and kind of it's a lot to type as well. So it puts in the CFG test, mod tests, use super, then you put in test for your particular test and your test name. So obviously you just put something sensible in there, but it's obviously giving you pretty much the entire framework for the test you need, and then you just go and put in kind of assert there, whatever. So what? Let's just do true there. I'm not that familiar with. Here we go. So I'm not very familiar with doing tests. So that's part of the reason why I need to. Yeah, PyTest. Yeah, but hmm, Rust not so. So just to wrap up, we've looked at how to import a crate from GitHub by modifying Cargo.toml. We've looked at how you can create a lib file, so lib.rs, which is basically the code, and then you just need a main.rs, which is kind of the entry point. So what else was I going to show? Oh, cargo tree. I just wanted to share that as well. So another thing I just started. I think I picked it up from John Genset. So if you ever see his videos, cargo tree, and it shows you all the dependencies. So there you can see. So my project was called ldem, And then it shows a dependency. So it's showing that actually there is a dependency called mkgrid version 1.0, which is actually the name of my library. Clear all that. MD cargo. So I called it mkgrid. So that name there, mkgrid, that's the name of the directory that the src/lib.rs lives in. So if I changed that to, let's call it kgrid. Obviously it won't compile now because it can't find kgrid. But if I rename that, if I do move mkgrid to kgrid, then if I try and compile it, it compiles. So that's kind of what I've done there is I've just really proved that whatever appears here, this word here, is what needs to be the tree minus L2. So there you go, kgrid. So whatever the path is in TOML is what that I'm highlighting there, that kgrid needs to be. So I can change it back as well. So I hate that. You try and do cargo dot, but it's because you've got the lock, you have to do the T as well. And obviously the bit here, that's just what you name it when you import it. So typo. That's the other risk once you start renaming things as well. There we go, it's better. Okay, so that was a bit of a haphazard look at editing cargo, getting in a mess and then fixing it again. So that's running cargo with the local file, and then just for lols, we'll change it to the remote one, the GitHub version. So change that, exit, cargo run, and it's no longer the local version because the word local's disappeared. So that means it's getting it from GitHub. And the interesting thing is it actually knows to look for mkgrid src lib.rs. So it's looking down the same path as if it was local. So it must actually search downwards from there until it finds, because when we reference it, nv main src nv main. So when we reference it, it's just looking for make grid foo. So it's looking for make grid. It must look for the same, followed by src, followed by lib.rs. It must just search down through them until it actually finds foo. So there we go. That's a bit of a long-winded look. Sorry for that. So yeah, just remember I've probably forgotten them already. 7DD. Let's go for that. What was it? TM. Yes. And the other tip was, let's just get rid of that. What was the other tip? The other tip was just the printing a string literal. So yeah, just write it in quotes, full stop. Obviously, you'll need Rust Analyzer. I think this relies on Rust Analyzer. I can't confirm that because every machine I've got has got Rust Analyzer installed. But There we go. So, and then just don't forget to put the, obviously it's leaving the, that semicolon up to you, potentially if you were going to have a return. No, I don't know why it's left not put the semicolon on the end, but anyway, there we go. Thanks for watching. This, yeah, just a bit of a whistle-stop tour of using Cargo with crates and using the tm macro, tmod, and that's great if you do use tests. If you don't use tests, then shame on you. I'm not about to preach about tests because reasons. So thanks for watching, and yeah, there we go. I'll leave you with that. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up.